Greetings to you, Agora Legis community. Welcome back to our channel, the platform of legal minds, where we discuss legal principles and make them easy to understand for you. And today we are hosting a legal genius on our platform who is going to take us through a simple topic, an overview of the constitutional history for our friends in joining law school. So, welcome, dear brother, Counsel Hamza.
Thank you very much, Senior Counsel Ben, for this invitation. Indeed, to share knowledge with these colleagues, indeed it is priceless. My name is Hamza. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, Counsel Hamza is going to tell us about what we are going to look at in this semester in constitutional history. So, tell us, Kamsa, in brief, what is the plan for this semester in the course unit of constitutional history?
Thank you very much, Senior Counsel. Constitutional history is a bit broad. They call it history because indeed the primary objective to why students study constitutional history is to trace where did we get our constitution.
All right.
Yeah, we have a number of topics to cover, but indeed you shall find out that all topics rotate around the history where we borrowed knowledge to formulate the present day constitution. And of now, we have the 1995 Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so if we understand very well, it means that in constitutional history as a course unit, we are only going to trace the background of how did we come up with the current laws that are governing our legal framework.
Thank you very much. And indeed, a student outside there, a student watching this podcast, must focus on knowing what is a constitution. How did we get our constitution? Because indeed, in their semester 2, they shall study constitutional law. So, what I'm trying to say is, the student should put much emphasis in understanding the origins of our constitution, in understanding where did we get our constitution, in understanding the events that led to the amalgamation of the 1995 Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. And indeed, constitutional history as a course unit has a number of topics, but you shall find out that those topics also rotate around history. That's why it's like history. Indeed, if a student has done history in their A level, this course unit will be much easier for them because all the things they are going to tackle in constitutional history have already happened. Nothing new is going to come. If you are a good student and you can sit down and read, constitutional history is a very clear and understandable course unit.
Course unit.
Yes.
So briefly, now take us through the different topics that maybe we are going to cover this semester and tell us how to approach them. So maybe you give us just a brief overview of what we are going to cover this semester.
Thank you very much. And indeed, to make it brief, let me categorize these topics into two. There are some topics which shall be examined to question the understanding, the idea of the student on the history itself. And other topics shall come in to question and examine the student's knowledge on the real face of it. Like we shall have some topics which are more of history, only history. But there are those topics which shall reflect to our current day constitution. I think I'm now clear. And under those topics, Number one, they are called the ideas of the Constitution. A number of universities are watching this podcast, and you know the teaching method changes. But however, we shall call it a general overview for all of them. You shall find some universities tackle the Buganda Agreement, the orders in council, to trace the history of the Constitution. But other universities will go on to teach the Medina Charter, the French Revolution, the Bill of Rights, all of those things, to enforce and to ensure that a student is well conversant with where did we get our Constitution.
The ideas of the
The
Constitution.
ideas of the Constitution.
Okay.
So if you are a student who likes reading the question banks of different universities and you find out any question that your lecturer never covered, just know that the ideas of the Constitution are so much. You cannot explore all of them. That's why several universities shall pick and teach some topics. But under ideas of the Constitution, we shall majorly look at the Buganda Agreement, the 1902 Orders in Council, and the 1920s Orders in Council. We shall also look at the Asian question. During that period, we also had the Bataka peasant grievances. Then, from that, we shall now start examining other broader topics.
Like
the human face period, the 1953 to 1955 Kabaka crisis, the 1966 Kabaka crisis. They are more of history, but we can learn from them. Literally, not to go back in such tyranny. Then again, we shall go to the road to independence. We can talk about Idi Amin's regime, his bitter relationship with the Asians, his decrees, all of those we are tracing our Constitution. We shall also talk about the 10 points program of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, where he clearly stated that it is not a mere change of guards, it is a fundamental change. And that question is so common. Briefly, those are the topics a student should well verse themselves with. But however, every student of first semester, year one, should understand the case of expert Michael Matov.
All right,
because indeed it clearly portrays where our history came from. It has shaped separation of powers. It has looked more in the rule of law, and indeed it does not stop in first semester. And it came around the period of 1966 in the Kabaka crisis, where expert Matov came in to rise against Obote's government and his new constitution. Thank you very much, Senior Council. And indeed, those are the topics they are going to cover in this semester.
We are so grateful, Council Amza, for accepting our invitation. And guys over there, thank you for watching. It was Agora Legis with Council Ben. We urge you to subscribe, like, and share, and comment. Tell us where you're not satisfied. Tell us where you want us to put an emphasis on. And we are always glad to be there now.